What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Dylan back here for another video, and today we are moving on. We are past the primetime NFL schedule videos. If you not checked those out, go check those out. They're a lot of fun to make. But we are here finally with a new topic video, and I am talking about a topic that I did in 2017 with a new list of guys. Yes, that's right. Top 5 quarterbacks that will bounce back in 2018. I made this list in 2017. 3 of them I actually got pretty spot on. Russell Wilson, Cam Newton, and Phillip Rivers, I think, did a pretty good job for themselves in 2017. 2 guys, Carson Palmer and Eli Manning, did not do very well. In fact, Carson Palmer is retired. So, yeah, there are going to be hits and misses on every video, but I think I did a pretty good job for 2017, all things considered. So, these are 5 guys that I feel like had either a rough 2017 or didn't meet up to their standards of how they can play in 2017, and I think are going to do significantly better in 2018. There's only one guy that is actually coming back from injury, and the other 4 guys either just had very rough seasons or did not live up to their potential. So with that said, here are the top 5 quarterbacks that will bounce back in 2018. At number 5, I have Marcus Mariota of the Tennessee Titans. His stats last year were 281 completions, 453 attempts, 62% completion percentage, 3,232 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, and a 9-7 record for the Titans. Again, like last year's list, the first 2 guys actually made the playoffs, but I feel like their stats can be a little bit better, and especially in the case of Marcus Mariota. 13 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. That's terrible. That's atrocious. This Tennessee Titans team actually made the playoffs and beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the wild card round, which is shocking to me. But they were able to do it. I feel like the run game was very solid, and their defense stepped up in a big way in that game. For Marcus Mariota, he was hurt for a big portion of the season, and I feel like that's why his stats were down. He just wasn't very consistent. He wasn't very accurate. I don't think he's the greatest quarterback in the world. That's kind of why I put him here at number 5. I feel like he's going to have a lot better stats. I just don't think he'll be producing as much as the rest of the 5 guys. But he's definitely got to have a step up from 13 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. That's awful. And a weird thing about this is compared to the rest of the guys, a lot of these stats are actually up from last season. His completions were up. His completion percentage was up. Their team record actually went up. So it's weird for Marcus Mariota. Some of his stats actually got up, but it looks like a really bad stat line. I feel like this year, with the additions that they got in the offseason, he is going to do better, and I hope that he does. I hope, obviously, the Tennessee Titans hope that he does. I feel like he'll do at least a little bit better than 13 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. That's why he's here at number 5. He won't produce as much as the rest of the guys on this list, but he'll definitely have a better stat line than he did this past season because he was injured for most of it. So, number 5, Marcus Mariota. At number 4, I have Matt Ryan of the Atlanta Falcons. Last season, he had 342 completions, 529 attempts, 64.7 completion percentage, 4,095 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and a 10-6 record. Now, I know people are going to be commenting in the comments, how in the hell can Matt Ryan be on the list? He had a pretty decent season, and they made it to the divisional round, also beating the Los Angeles Rams in the process in the playoffs. Well, this is a stats list. Like, this is a quarterback stats list. And personally, if you look at the stats from 2016 to 2017, they're across the board in 2017. Matt Ryan had an MVP season in 2016, got his team to the Super Bowl. They did very, very well. Their offense was phenomenal. Julio Jones had a great season in 2016. And in 2017, they tanked. I feel like the biggest factor of this was that Kyle Shanahan was no longer the offensive coordinator, and now it was Steve Sarkisian. And Steve Sarkisian did a terrible job running that offense, in my opinion. But Matt Ryan is there, and he has to throw the footballs and make these kind of plays, and he did not do nearly as well as he did in 2016. 20 touchdowns, that's pretty mediocre. 12 interceptions, that went up from his 2016 total. They did go 10-6, which was a worse record, but they still won their game against the Rams. Just the thing is that this team was not as strong. They were not as tightly bonded as they were in 2016, and Matt Ryan did not play as well as he could have. In year 2 of the process with Steve Sarkisian, I feel like he'll do a little bit better. He has Calvin Ridley as a new offensive weapon. Maybe that's going to help him out a little bit. I still like the two-headed monster running back duo of Foreman and Coleman, maybe getting some catches out of the backfield. So this offense is still very good. I still don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, but I feel like Matt Ryan is just going to have a better statistical season and trying to make them better and hopefully to get them to the playoffs. That's just my opinion. The stats were down from 2016 to 2017, so I expect a little bit of a bounce back in 2018. So Matt Ryan at number 4. At number 3, I have Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys. His stats last year were 308 completions, 490 attempts, 62.9 completion percentage, 3,324 passing yards, 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and a 9-7 record. Even as a Cowboys fan, I'm just going to say this right now, Dak is the most disrespected quarterback in the league. He is. To me personally, I hear all the time, like, oh, Dak can't do it, Dak can't do it, whatever, just because of the second half of 2017 was not very good. The thing is that it's a Cowboys stigma. It's just going to be on there because he plays with the Cowboys. We've seen how good Dak can be. And the reason I think that he failed the most in 2017 was because Zeke was not on the field for 24/7. I feel like once Zeke was off the field for 6 games, the Cowboys team just didn't care. The rest of the team just did not care to win football games, and that's why they ended up being 9-7. They weren't as complete, they weren't as full, they weren't able to capitalize on some close games. It just didn't feel like the same Cowboys team, and now I feel like there's more positivity coming into 2018. I know Dez and Witten are gone, but with the negativity of the 6-game suspension from Zeke finally gone, it's over, the drama is over. Now this team can get back together, form something new, create the new era of the Cowboys, and try to get something going. I feel like this team could make the wild card this year. I know Mitch doesn't agree, but I don't care. I feel like this Cowboys team has some potential, and if Dak can get it going like he did in 2016, anything close to 2016, this team will be in the playoff race. I like what I see out of Prescott. I feel like with Zeke, these two can have a really great combo, really great duo, and really score with some great precision because they don't need field goals. This team needs to stop kicking field goals and scoring touchdowns and start scoring touchdowns. So Dak, get it done. I think he can get it done, and he will bounce back from his very mediocre and kind of poor 2017. We saw what he did in 2016. I think we'll see a little bit more of that this season. So at number 3, Dak Prescott. At number 2, I have Derek Carr of the Oakland Raiders. Last season, he had 323 completions, 515 attempts, 62.7 completion percentage, 3,496 passing yards, 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and a 6-9 record, which is the worst out of anybody on this list. Now, Derek Carr. I love Derek Carr. 2016, he did awesome. I think he was one of the best quarterbacks in the league until he got hurt. Actually, in my opinion, I think through the first half of that season, he was the NFL MVP. He did a very good job of playing the game, hitting the spots where he needed to. He was very effective on the football field, and that's what you want to see. And then he got hurt, and the Raiders didn't do anything in the playoffs. In 2017, it just didn't look like the same team. It didn't look like the same fire was there and the same will to win was there. And I don't know what it was, but it just was not a very good fit for Derek Carr. It just didn't feel right. Coming into 2018, though, the Oakland Raiders have changed. John Gruden comes in, and he effing loves Derek Carr. He loves the potential in Derek Carr. He knows what he's capable of. And they've got some pretty decent talent at receiver. Jordy Nelson, he's a little bit older, but I feel like he was a big loss for Green Bay, so I think he can be a very big help for the Raiders. Amari Cooper had a very bad 2017. I'm sorry, it was a pretty pathetic 2017, but he's still a good receiver. We've seen him do his thing in the NFL, so we'll see if he can bounce back in 2018. And Martavis Bryant comes in, and I feel like he can be a very good asset for the Raiders. So with that said, the Raiders have the tools here. Derek Carr is a good quarterback. We've seen it in the NFL. I feel like he could have a big bounce back potential. And in terms of healthy quarterbacks from 2017 to 2018, I think he will have the biggest bounce back season. I feel like this Raiders team has a chance to make it to the playoffs in the wild card, maybe even win that division. It's a very close division. So with that said, Derek Carr, I love what I've seen out of him. I think he can be bouncing back in 2018 for sure, and I want to see what he has to offer in 2018. So at number 2, Derek Carr. And my number 1 bounce back quarterback for 2018 is Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to tell you the 2017 stats because, of course, they would be down from 2016. He played half the year. Aaron Rodgers, when it's all said and done, can be the best quarterback in the NFL. I know Brady's still in the league, but Aaron Rodgers is a phenomenal quarterback when healthy. It was very sad to see him get hurt in the game against the Minnesota Vikings, but when it's all said and done, when Aaron Rodgers is on that football field, he's absolutely amazing. He makes that Packers team worth watching because honestly, I don't think this Packer team is very good. I don't think that they are going to make the playoffs. But when it's all said and done, Aaron Rodgers puts that stigma on me that at least they have a chance. They have a fighting chance with Aaron Rodgers as QB. Just like with the Seahawks last season. They had a chance because Russell Wilson was carrying the team. Aaron Rodgers has to carry that team, and he does. They get big premier victories when Aaron Rodgers is on the football field. We saw it with Brett Hundley last year that the Packers team was just not capable of winning with any other quarterback. So Aaron Rodgers, he's the best in the game. He knows what he's doing. He makes clutch throws. He's going to be able to get the right passes, throw great touchdowns. We know what we've seen out of Aaron Rodgers. He is by far one of the best QBs in the league. And when he's efficient, he's efficient. When he's on, he's on. He makes the Packers somewhat of a contender. And that division, the NFC North, is extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. Three pretty good teams, in my opinion. The Bears are coming up. The Lions are okay. And the Vikings, of course, went to the NFC Championship game. So Aaron Rodgers has to produce for the Packers even to be in playoff contention, and we know what he is capable of. He can make those big throws when necessary, and he gives the Packers at least a fighting chance. So I expect a big season for him, come back in a big way, and recover from injury better than ever. So at number 1, bounce-back quarterback of 2018 is Aaron Rodgers. That's going to do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button. Comment below. Do you agree with my list of the top 5 quarterbacks that will bounce back in 2018? Do you have a quarterback that wasn't on my list that you would put in the top 5? Leave those comments down below. Subscribe to The Bottom Line View. We're rushing to 5,000 subscribers. We're trying to get that before the start of the NFL season. So if you guys could help us out, hit that subscribe button. It'll help us out tremendously. I've got more content coming on the way. I know I want to get a lot more videos out before school starts because I am going to be into school a little bit more. So I definitely want you guys to stay tuned for my videos. Stay tuned for Mitch's videos. He's got content coming all the way through July. And we're going to start doing our training camp kind of videos for team predictions and stuff in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a good one. So thank you guys for watching. Doing The Bottom Line View. Peace.